In this episode of Explained, I attempt to explain in lay terms the paper published in the very prestigious journal Science by Daniel Rosenfeld and contributors. The paper is called Aerosol-Driven Droplet Concentrations Dominate Coverage and Water of Oceanic Low-Level Clouds. It was published on February 8th, 2019. And the take-home message from this paper is that the aerosol masking effect has been underestimated in previous research. Here's a line from the abstract. A lack of reliable estimates of cloud condensation nuclei aerosols over oceans has severely limited our ability to quantify their effects on cloud properties and extent of cooling by reflecting solar radiation, a key uncertainty in anthropogenic climate forcing. We introduce a methodology for ascribing cloud properties to cloud condensation nuclei and isolating the aerosol effects from meteorological effects. In other words, this paper explains with a new technique how aerosol masking is playing a significant role in reducing the heat the Earth otherwise would be experiencing right now. Here's how this works in general. We all know that greenhouse gases serve as something like a blanket to retain Earth's heat once the Earth is heated up. So sunlight comes through, heats up the planet. Various greenhouse gases, at least 43 of them, trap that heat, trap the long-wave radiation, acting something like a greenhouse, thus the term greenhouse effect. However, what aerosols do is prevent the light from coming in and striking the Earth to begin with. So if the light can't get in, it can't heat up the planet, and therefore the impact of those greenhouse gases is irrelevant. From the paper that came out more or less simultaneously with the paper in Science is a description, and I will include a link to both of these papers, the peer-reviewed journal and the peer-reviewed journal article in Science, and also the article from the Sustainability Times. And here's the take-home message from the Sustainability Times. What they discovered, referring to the paper by Rosenfeld and colleagues, what this paper in Sustainability Times reports, released more or less coincident with the peer-reviewed journal article in Science, is this. I'm going to quote from the paper. What they discovered is that the cooling impact of the aerosol particles, much of which is pollution that humans have been pumping into the atmosphere, is nearly twice what scientists previously thought. If that's the case, the discrepancy points to the likelihood that our warming is already overriding more cooling than we thought was there. In other words, aerosol masking is a tremendously important part of our knowledge of the greenhouse effect has been impacted by aerosol masking to a far greater extent than we have understood since 2029, when Anders Angstrom's paper appeared to describe aerosol masking. So, a very important aspect of climate change, very frequently overlooked or completely ignored by other people.